What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and today, as you guys can tell by the thumbnail, the title, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. So just kind of hear me out, and then we'll get into the main meat of the sandwich. We're at the bread right now. We'll discuss about the meat in a second. First, you got to eat the bread. This is our draft analysis for the Pokemon Invitational Cup. It is I tweeted out a few days ago that I was looking to join similar to when I joined the Pokemon Global League for their second season. I was looking to join a league during the off-season of the GBA. We are coming up on the off-season of this. This will still be a competitive draft counter-team format similar to the GBA, so if you guys are excited for that, if that's something you guys enjoy, that is something that will remain on the channel after the GBA. I really like doing this stuff, and I want to get better at it, because in regular Smogon Searing 6v6, I do fine, but you know, I'm not doing fine in this, so I want to keep practicing, and I want to keep getting better. You guys saw me do well in the PGL, and I want to continue doing well in the offseason as well, too, just so I don't get any rustier than I already am in the GBA. So, uploads will be every Thursday after this week, so next week will be February 4th, I believe, and then we will be going up against the season champion, of the champion of last season champion, English language, pronouns, adjectives. I'm going to insert a fancy little calendar for you guys right here. As you guys can see, week 1, the Detroit Steel Wings are playing the Denver Blitzels. Week 2, we are having a bye week. There are 11 coaches. I was the 11th coach to join per request of the league, so because instead of an even amount of coaches, each team does have their bye week. Our bye week will be week 2, so there will not be a formal Pokemon Invitational Cup upload on week 2, February 11th, so I will have another video for you guys. Week 3, we're going up against the Dallas Darmanitans. Week 4, the Cape Arboks. Week 5, we are going up against the Kutztown Krookodiles. Week number 6, the Bury Butterfrees. Week 7, the Chester Chinchous. Week 8, the Amityville Haunters. I'm looking at you, Juan. Week number 9, the Carolina Castforms. Week number 10, the Meath Mamoswines. And week 11, the LA Doublades. And there is a semifinals match, a third place match, and a final championship match that will take place after those 11 weeks are done. If you guys are interested, every coach's information will be in the description below, as well as the official Twitter for the Pokemon Invitational Cup. Make sure you go check them out and subscribe to them if this is the type of content you are interested in. From here on out, each week I will only be linking not only the Pokemon Invitational Cup, but the person who I will be battling. And like I said, next week is the coach of the Denver Blitzels. So, now that I said all that, let's see, what did I talk about? It's Thursdays. It's going to be Showdown content. Whether or not this lists well, I'm thinking on Thursdays doing like a Showdown Live or a Showdown. This is a Showdown League. This is not a Wi-Fi league. So with Wi-Fi leagues, you do need to remember that all of your calculations, all damage done, all team prep is done by level 50. This is a Showdown League, so it's different for me because everything's at level 100. Because I did a ton of prep work already for week 1, and then I was like, should I ask if it's level 100? And it was level 100. So that's something that I am definitely, it's not going to be too different, just a few stats here, there, a few percentages, but it's something to keep in mind, and hopefully it will get me better overall at, like, dealing with level 100 mons is going to help me grow also as a Showdown ladder as well, so I'm trying to think, what else do I need to plug? Plug Twitter, plug the schedule, plug the upload days, plug, I don't know, if you're excited for this, smash that like button. If you're new to the city, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. Boom, got him. Okay, so, this is our draft analysis. So, the way the draft worked, and I do want to thank everybody in the Pokemon Invitational Cup for letting me do this. I was approached, and they told me that their draft was happening live on a Sunday, and I was at work, and I said, well, I don't really want to, it's going to be super busy. I can't really phone in my draft picks, especially if you guys are doing this live. I said, if you guys will allow me this, how about, can I draft a full team after you guys have drafted, so I don't get the luxury of picking, you know, a choice A-Mon or a choice B-Mon. I get essentially the scraps, but with only 10 coaches at the time that were drafting, you know, there were still some good Mons, as you guys can already see on the screen. There were some good Mons left on the roster as well, so I did ask them that, and they did allow me that. The way the format goes is that you are drafted 1 Mega, 3 OU, now all these tiers are referring to Smogon tiering, 3 OU Pokemon, 3 UU Pokemon, 3 RU Pokemon, and then 3 NU or NU and below. So you could do NU, PU, NFE if you've got the balls to do a little cup, but that's how that works. So that's why we're going to kind of start at the very top of my choice and then work our way down the draft. So I think I talked about the draft. So again, thank you guys for letting me draft this team. I know it wasn't nobody. There's a handicap involved because I wasn't able to pick mons that I would have rather had, but the upside is that they did give me enough time to put together somewhat of a decent draft, I feel like. So without further ado, guys, we are going to lead off with our draft analysis for the Pokemon Invitational Cup. So as you guys can see on the screen, as you guys have been staring at the entire time, Mega Gardevoir was the Mega that I chose. And with the Megamon, I do gain access to both regular Gardevoir and Mega Gardevoir. Nobody else can draft base Gardevoir after this was gone. If I were to draft it, so somebody drafted Mega Metagross, nobody can draft regular Metagross because he does have access to both of those should he choose to. So Mega Gardevoir is mine, and one of the things that I noticed is really stupid good in the league format is a really good fairy type. It does a lot of work to a lot of things. And I wasn't too big a fan of, you know, there were physical fairies that were around. There was Klefki. There were some other play rough users that I saw, but I wasn't really a fan because there's always the Intimidate switch-ins to drop a play rough. There's always Will-O-Wisp, which nerfs your attack damage. So special fairies are the way to go. Something with Moonblast, something with Hyper Voice, something with Pixelate. And since Sylveon was taken, I decided to go with my girl, Lizzie Hale, the Mega Gardevoir. Now, Lizzie Hale, because I'm a huge Hailstorm fan. Cue picture of Lizzie Hale here. And she's an absolute rock star. And I just imagine, like, Mega Gardevoir, like, when Mega Gardevoir uses Hyper Voice, it's just like this loud rock concerts. I've always called my Mega Gardevoir as Lizzie Hale. So that is how we're going to go with Lizzie Hale. Looking at the stats of Mega Gardevoir, though, 165 base special attack. That's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. On base 135 special defense. The physical defense is lacking a bit, but we do have a nice base speed of 100, which is super nice because we are able to outspeed a lot of things. Things obviously with a Scarf can speed creep us, so that's something to keep in mind. Overall move pool. I mean, you guys know what a Mega Gardevoir does. It gets access to a lot of special moves. Energy Ball, it gets access to Focus Blast. It can get Grass Knot, Hidden Powers, obviously. Hyper Voice, the godsend of all Pixelate aiding moves. Gets Moonblast, obviously. Gets Pain Split, Psychic, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Shadow Sneak for priority. Thunderbolt, it gets Will-O-Wisp as well, which is absolutely cool. Charge Beam, it gets I mean, look at all this. Look at all this. It's absolutely, we can set up a future sight on somebody. This is absolutely disgusting. Magical Leaf, does get Magic Room as well. Imprison, I'm just looking at all the cool moves this thing can get. I'll look more into it. It gets Trick Room, it gets Wonder Room. It's a lot of cool stuff. I don't think I'll ever Trick Room because our team is really fast already, as you guys will see as I break it down. But that is going to be that was my first Mega pick, which was Mega Gardevoir, aka Lizzie Hale. So next up, for all you GBA fans, I was able to pick up Staraptor, also known as Post-Hardcore. I swear to God on my life, I will prove that Staraptor is good in competitive play, and competitive league play. I swear I will prove that. So, Staraptor here, Post-Hardcore. One of the things that I wanted was, I still wanted to hit hard, I still wanted to hit fast, and I could also, if I do have the ability to, I wanted a lot of hazard support, because that's super common in competitive counter team format. So Staraptor does get defog. The only downside to defog Staraptor is that it gets the Intimidate ability as opposed to Reckless. So if I do run a defog set, it won't be like a hyper offense defog set. It'll be probably like an Intimidate, Roost, defog type deal with like Brave Bird and U-turn, just to be like an overall utility mon. Base attack 120, base speed of 100, similar to speed size. It's got the exact same base speed as the Mega Gardevoir. It's going to hit a lot of things really hard, especially since things like Mega Gallade were drafted, Mega Venusaur. There were a ton of other drafts that were taking that, but I really like Staraptor because it does kind of, people use Mega Venusaur and they think, oh, this is, you know, what was I going to say? This is the wall. This is, you know, this is the wall, baby. Nothing can... Max HP, Max Defense, Bold, Mega Venusaur gets one-shotted by a Choice Banded and Reckless Staraptor. So, anyways, its move pool, you guys are pretty common with it, coming from the GBA. Brave Bird, Close Combat, Defog, like I said, Double Edge. It does have Final Gambit, which is something I may run this season, thinking about it. Pursuit, Quick Attack, as I have ran. Roost, it can set up Tailwinds. It does have U-turn, Switch, Initiative as well. Ominous Wind, Staraptor. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. That's a lot of the stuff that I was noticing. There wasn't too many. It's not too... I can't get too creative with it. It's pretty standard as far as it goes. You know, you Bandit, you Scarf it, you Life Orb it, you toss some lefties on there with Intimidate and Defog, and you go from there. But next up, we have Asterisk the Starmie, and I'm going to get that ability out of here because it is not... Nobody uses Illuminate Starmie. So we've got Asterisk the Starmie here. Continuing in the trend of hazard support, super fast, super hard-hitting mons, we do have Starmie here. Our little Asterisk, 100 base special attack, 115 base speed, water psychic types. Now we do have 2 psychic types on the team, which is not the worst thing in the world. It does mean we are a bit more prone to get knocked off or to get U-turned on because we are weak to it. But this thing hits fast, and one of my favorite things about Starmie that I actually discovered only recently. Now, I'm not gonna say like recently as in before this video, but an analytic boost actually happens. Say they switch out on my Starmie and they switch into something, analytics still boost that. So an analytic Life Orb Starmie is definitely something cool. Choice Spec Starmie, Choice Scarf Starmie if I want to with Natural Cure. That's gonna be really fun. Natural Cure is gonna be my Willow Toxic Paralyzed switch in. As I said, it does get hazard support in Rapid Spin, gets access to Dazzling Gleam, it gets Flash Cannon, it gets Grass Knot, Hydro Pump and Ice Beam are very common on this thing. It gets Power Gem, Psychic, Psyshock, Signal Beam, Surf, Thunder, Thunderbolt are all very common moves. It does get access to Thunder Wave too for speed control, which is something that I'm really like. It gets Physical Starmie, gets Gyro Ball. I mean, this thing is absolutely disgusting. It does get Icy Wind also for speed control, should there be an electric type on the field or something like that where I can't Thunder Wave it necessarily. But Icy Wind is something to keep in mind too for speed control. Gets access to Twister, it gets access to Wonder Room too. Just talking about all some of the cool things that it can do. It is one of the fastest water types in the game, if not the fastest water type, if I'm correct. And I'm really looking forward to using this thing. I've actually never used a Starmie in competitive play. A lot of these mons outside of Staraptor. So far, as you guys can see, I have used Staraptor in League Play, and I've used Gardevoir and Rotom-Heat, as you guys can see at the end of the screen, in competitive Wi-Fi battles. Other than that, I haven't touched any of these other mons. I wanna expand my knowledge of these things and how good they are in counter-team format. So, next up, kudos to you if you get the reference. We have Shao-Tucker the Kyurem-Black. And I'm going to grab a drink of water really quick while everybody gasps or chuckles or something. Kyurem-Black, Dragon Ice type, that does give us 2 steel weaknesses now with the Fairy typing in Mega Gardevoir and the Ice typing in the Kyurem-Black. However, look at this thing's monstrous stats. There weren't any good Mold Breaker users left, and I've always been told that this thing is just stupid good. Just absolutely like, it gives me shivers. But everybody always says how stupid good this thing is in competitive play and counter-team competitive format as well. So with the ability Terravolt is Kyurem-Black's own Mold Breaker. It negates any Pokemon's abilities that would hinder any damage output. So for instance, I can hit an Earth Power on a Rotom. Not a Rotom fan, just a regular Rotom. Or Rotom-Heat, or Rotom-Wash, or Rotom-Ice. But not Rotom fan. Anyways, it does have, like I said, Terravolt ability. Look at those stats. Base HP 125, base attack of 170, defense of 100, special attack 120. This thing, let's just talk about this thing's move pool, okay? Just look at all these cool moves. Ancient Power, Blizzard, Draco Meteor, Dragon Claw, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Tail, Earth Power, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Fusion Bolt, Ice Beam, Iron Head, Outrage, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Shadow Claw. It gets Roost for built-in recovery. Signal Beam, Stone Edge, Zen Headbutt, Toxic, Substitute Kyurem-Black, Substitute Hone Claws Kyurem-Black. There we go. I'm going to bring that one week. It gets Freeze Shock. I don't even know what that is. I never heard of this move until I was just scrolling down. It gets Freeze Shock. That's disgusting. It does get Icy Wind for speed control. It gets, Steel Wing Kyurem-Black. Let's go, baby. But this thing is going to be such a tremendously good wall breaker for our team. The enemy team is definitely going to have to, outside of like something that does get a Bullet Punch priority user, the other team is definitely going to have to plan for this thing, because I will bring Kyurem-Black a lot. Because it shuts down a lot of defensive cores that people can draft, which is something that I'm super looking forward to doing. I want to get as familiar with this thing as humanly possible, and like I said, it's such a versatile mon that some people, it went undrafted in the GBA during season 5, and it went undrafted until now in season 2 of the Pokemon Invitational Cup. So Like I said, I'm really looking forward to using it. If you don't know, if you don't get the SirHawker Kyurem-Black reference, then I'm sorry. So those were our 3 OU picks, and then in UU, this time around in the GB, I really wanted a Nido, but Nidoking was already taken, and I was like, oh no, I only get Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is stupid good. Nidoqueen is stupid good. So stats aren't anything to write home to mom to. Base in HP of 90, base attack 92, defense 87, special attack 75, 85 in special defense, 75 in speed. So we are a little bit more physical as far as it goes, as opposed to Nidoking, but we do have more bulk behind us, which is something that I really am looking forward to. Nidoqueen does get access to both Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rock, should I decide to bring either one of those. Ability, nobody uses Poison Point or Rivalry. Sheer Force, it does in English language, Pokemon attacks with secondary effects have an extra 30% power behind them. So with the Life Orb, holders attacks do 1.3 times damage. So it already does 1.3, then 1.3. So it's doing an extra 30% on top of 130%. So let's do math really quickly here. I'm going to pull out a calculator so you guys can just catch this. And you guys can't even see it on here. We're going to do 1.3 times 1.3. You're getting 169 technically. 160% technically if we're using by Pokemon integers, because we dropped the last number. We just do by whole integers 1.6. We're getting an extra 60% boost on all of our moves. We do have Body Slam, Crunch, Dragon Tail, Drill Run, Earth Power, Earthquake, Fire Blast, Fire Punch, Flamethrower. I just put Facade on there. We got Facade. We have Focus Blast, Nidoqueen. We have Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Outrage, Poison Jab, Power Up Punch, Rock Slide, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Stealth Rocks like I talked about, Toxic Spikes like I talked about, Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch. This thing gets Super Fang. This thing gets Sucker Punch. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So I really am looking forward to using Nidoqueen this season. And even if I don't run a Life Orb Sheer Force set, I definitely think like a Black Sludge bulky set will be good for us because it doesn't have any recovery outside of that. So last out of our first 6 mons, this is our second UU pick. We did get Rotom-Heat. The Meatloaf! Ma! The Meatloaf!
The Meatloaf! We want it now! The Meatloaf! What is she doing? I never know what she's doing back there.
Anyways, this thing's really good. Fast electric types are really good in the league format, and I wanted, Jolteon's my go-to. Jolteon and Raikou were both taken. Manectric was, but I was like, Manectric's good, it gets access to like Flamethrower and Overheat, but I was like, Rotom-Heat does the same thing, it gets access to Overheat, and it doesn't get hurt by ground moves, so, but we do have that Rock weakness, which is definitely good that we have 2 forms of Hazard support so far. It's a pretty, you guys should know what a Rotom-Heat does. You guys should know what a Rotom-Heat does. Look at its stats. It's got 107 in defenses, 105 special attack, 86 in speed. So we can do a lot of things with this thing. We can bring like a Trick Choice Scarf. We can bring a Lefty's bulky set. We could bring a Life Orb set. We can bring a ton of stuff with this. We do have access to Will-O-Wisp, which is something I like because now we do have 2 Will-O-Wisp users. Something that my enemies shall fear the ground I walk. No. For any opponents that we do, why am I in anime mode right now? Any of the other teams are going to need to plan for a Will-O-Wisp Rotom-Heat. I mean, even Will-O-Wisp Mega Gardevoir is something to be afraid of. So, looking at its moves, just to run them over with you guys. Dark Pulse, Discharge, Hex. Oh, gets Hex. Pain Split's the only really form of recovery it has outside of a Lefty's set. It could be Resto, Chesto, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. This thing also does get Sucker Punch, Thunder, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave for more speed control on our team, obviously. Volt Switch for the switching. Will-O-Wisp, like I said, it does get Electro Ball. Electro Web for speed control. I don't know. We're just kind of going right now. More power, the faster is they use in the targets. We can run like a max speed Scarf Electro Ball set. I don't know. It does get Ominous Wind as well. I'm running something with Ominous Wind. So that is going to be the first 6 mons for our team. I'm going to go up here really quickly. Next up, so now we've got a lot of mons on our team, and we do need a Dragon Resist. We've got a Dragon Immunity, but I wanted like a Dragon Resist. I wanted a Poison Resist as well to complement Mega Gardevoir. And this is going to kind of tie together a pseudo Dragon Steel Fairy Core that I wanted. I did get Cobalion, which is awesome because I've actually never used Cobalion. Base 129 in defense, base 108 in speed. Its attacks are both 90, which is something incredible. I like that. So you can run like a mixed attack in Cobalion. It does get the justified ability for switching into knockoffs, which is something that, again, the opposing teams are going to need to remember that if I am bringing Cobalion, you better watch knockoffs, because I can switch this thing in a heartbeat. Close Combat, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Iron Head, Poison Jab, Quick Attack for priority, Sacred Sword, hello, ignores the target's stat changes. Don't you try to set up on me. It does get access to Stealth Rocks, which is something I am definitely looking forward to. So now it does take some of the offensive pressure, or the defensive pressure off of Nidoqueen if I decide to run a offensive set. Stone Edge, Superpower, Taunt, Thunder Wave for the speed control, Volt Switch for switching, Zen Headbutt, X Scissor, 2 moves it also gets access to. Any other cool moves this thing gets? Magnet Rise, I suppose. Magnet Rise is a thing. Metal Burst. I'm just kind of looking at cool things right now. Yeah, that's really what it is right now. It does give us a few immunities. It does give us a few weaknesses, a few resistances. But I did want something else that could set up Stealth Rocks on the opposing team. I do want more Switch Initiative, and a Volt Switch user that can also use Stealth Rocks is really cool in my opinion. And it does get a base 108 speed. I believe this is the fastest thing on our team so far. Am I correct? Am I correct in saying that? No, the Starmie. So it's the second fastest thing on our team so far, which is something that I am really looking forward to messing around with. Because, like I said, I want to expand my comfortability with Pokemon a bit more in the counter team format. So this thing's chest hair. Look at this thing. Look at that thing's beautiful Chesley mane. That's what it has. So. Next up here, as you guys can see, we've got Honeycomb the Golbat, and before you ask its name, it does have a mouth big enough for a honeycomb. Carrying on. So I did want another form of hazard removal, and Defog Golbat is a thing. With Eviolite, this thing is a monster to deal with. It does have very good speeds. It also does have pretty good defenses in both 70 and 75. It does get multiplied by the Eviolite as well. It does get Inner Focus. Infiltrator is probably the set that I'd run on that, just in case somebody just tries to set up a sub on me. Defogged for hazard removal, like I said. Brave Bird, obviously. It does get Haze if anything tries to set up on us, which is nice. I don't know why anybody would ever bring a Nasty Plot Golbat, but you know what. Quick Attack in priority if need be. Roost for recovery. Does get access to Shadow Ball. Sludge Bomb is a thing. Super Fang is also a thing. Tailwind is a thing. Taunt is a thing. Toxic Golbat, I mean, it's a thing. I don't know. And it also does get U-turn. So you guys are kind of seeing a common thing. We do have hard-hitting mons, we do have defensive mons, we do have a lot of Volt Turn capabilities, we do have hazards, and we do have hazard removal. So I am looking forward to. I want to get a few kills with Honeycomb. I do want to get a few kills with Honeycomb. But next up, we are bringing Raymond the Sharpedo. If you don't know the reference, I did a team builder a while back, and I called Mega Sharpedo Raymond. Well, this is Raymond. And to be honest, I'm actually kind of impressed at the amount of work this thing has put in with Shady Penguins, New York Yankees this past season of the GBA. So I wanted to try it out for myself. It is primarily going to be a speed boost late game sweeper. You're on Protect, you run speed boost on this thing. It does get, access to a lot of moves. It's a glass cannon though. I mean, it does have, if you're not killing something, you're not taking a hit either. Base 40 defense, base 40 special defense. Seriously, if you don't kill whatever you're attacking, it will kill you. So, let's just look over the moves it does get. It does have a base 120 attack, but it also has 95 special attack. So it is possible to bring a mixed offensive Sharpedo, which is something that I hopefully can do. Ancient Power, Blizzard, this thing gets Avalanche. I mean, can you imagine a Sharpedo using Avalanche? That's something I want to see in the anime. Pokemon 20, make it happen. Destiny Bond Sharpedo. There was the event at Pokemon Worlds this past year where they did release a Destiny Bond Sharpedo, so that is something that I can bring as well. Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Ice Beam, Ice Fang, Night Slash, Poison Jab, Roar, Super Fang, Surf, Waterfall, Toxic, Zen Headbutt. Jeez, this thing's a nightmare. This thing's a nightmare. So this is one of our late game setup sweepers that I really hope it plays off. I really hope it pans out well because I'm really impressed at how it's been used, and I've always been a fan of Sharpedo. So why not? So we do have another Steel type on the team, but this does give us Bug Step, and it does have the gosh darn dual weakness. It does have a 4x weakness to fire. Lord Ephraim the Escavalier. So base attack of 135, base defense of 105, base def 105 with 20. It's not meant to outspeed and kill anything, but it is something that I'm looking forward to using. I mean, it's got shell armor, it's got overcoat. Should we need it. So I've never actually used Escavalier. I've never seen it used in competitive play. But it was something that I wanted to try out. It does give us access to a really hard-hitting mon that can also take hits and dish them out. So let's just talk about moves really quick. I don't think I'll ever run a special Escavalier, but it does get access to Double Edge, Drill Run, Facade, Knockoff. We've got a Knockoff user, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, Iron Head, Swords Dance, X Scissor, Toxic, anything else that I could see, Fell Stinger, Choice Banded, Fell Stinger, Escavalier, I'm not sure, but that is something we could do. Looking at the rest of the moveset, I mean, Twin Needle, who knows? I might bring Twin Needle Escavalier just for the S's and G's, but like I said, this does give us another resist to any hard-hitting mons that may want to come in outside of a HP Fire user, but I don't know. My pick right here was kind of, I was looking over, I wanted like to represent each one of the typings, and I didn't want another rock weakness in like a Scyther if I wanted to with a Bug Flying, so I went with Bug Steel instead, and I know somebody's going to be like, oh, well, Crimson, why'd you do that? Crimson, why'd you do that? I don't know. Wanted to cover all my types, and I really wanted a Escavalier, because I mean, look at those stats. Look at the stats, look at the attack. I really think it's going to put in a lot of work this season. I hope it does. I hope I bring it. I want to bring everybody at least once, just to kind of give them a shot. So, next up, we do have a Long Island, the Regirock, and I'm really looking forward to using this. As you guys already know, let's talk moves really quick. This thing's an absolute monster. Base 100 attack, base 200 defense, base 100 speed def. So, Body Slam, Brick Break, Double Edge, Drain Punch, Earthquake, Explosion, Facade, Fire Punch, Frustration, Hammer Arm, Ice Punch, Iron Head, Power Up Punch, Return, Rock Slide, Seismic Toss, Stone Edge, it gets Thunder Wave, it gets Toxic. So we've got another hazard supporter. We've got another method of speed control with a Thunder Wave user. This thing gets access to a ton of physical moves. It doesn't have any, doesn't have much recovery outside of Drain Punch. Or leftovers, or like a rest set, so those are some things to keep in mind, but it does have tremendous special defense. I don't know, I'd run like an AV Regirock. I think, but I definitely think it's going to be cool, in homage to my homie Nips and the Long Island Regirockies, of course. This is another form, like I said, of hazard support. This does cover our rock typing for the team. Speed control, two things that I'm very fond of in League format. Next up, we do have Catnape the Liepard. I had a Dark type already, but Prankster's kind of really cool. It does get access to Fake Out. It does get, like I said, Prankster. It also does get access to Unburden, Encore, Fake Out, Frustration. I'm sorry, not Frustration, Foul Play. I mean, this thing gets Gunk Shot. That's disgusting. So we could do like a Home Claws Gunk Shot set. Another knockoff user is very nice. Night Slash. It does get access to Play Rough as well. Seed Bomb, Shadow Claw, Sucker Punch, Toxic, Thunder Wave, U-Turn. We've got another U-Turn user. So you guys are starting to see like a common theme between these mons. And unfortunately, like our other Dark type, Catnape is a bit of a glass cannon if we can get an attack off. Both defenses are in the 50s, base HP of 64. Nothing really to write home to mom about, but it is another user that I am hopefully looking forward to put in some work. I'm like I said, the name of the game is diversifying my draft choice and all that. So last but not least, we do have here, I didn't give you a nickname, McPumpkin the Gourgeist, and we do have access to all forms of Gourgeist, normal, small, large, and super. So this thing is also going to be we do have our fighting immunity on this team now. I was thinking Chandelure, but I was like, no, let's go Rotom-Heat, and then let's pick up Gourgeist, because Gourgeist is nuts. Bullet Seed, Dark Balls, we can debond, Energy Ball, Flame Charge, and Flamethrower. It's one of the only grass types that does get access to fire type moves. Fire Blast, how could I skip that? Giga Drain for the recovery, Grass Knot, Gyro Ball. This thing can set up Leech Seeds. This thing also does get Will-O-Wisp. Where's the move? Not Phantom Force. We do get Phantom Force. Razor Leaf are two things as well. Trick or Treat adds Ghost to the target's type. I don't know. Just some fun stuff to do with. This thing is a bulky wall. It does take a lot of hits, as it is able to nerf physical threats with the Will-O-Wisp. It does have built-in recovery in both Giga Drain and the Leech Seed. So I'm really looking forward to using this mon. I'm really looking forward to using this whole team. So if you guys have any thoughts about the draft, leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. I love talking with you guys about that. You know that. So let me know about that. I will see you guys all next week, February 4th. We are going up against the Denver Blitzels in week 1 of the Pokemon Invitational Cup. All that being said, my name's Crimson CBAD, and I will talk to you all soon. Later. So I'm just a train on a rampage. is what this is. I'm just... Oh my gosh, I'm in a hospital. I'm not in the donut shop. Oh my. Everyone's dead. Tell me. Okay, you know what? I am going to, tell me that's a randomized encounter right now. I will cry. I will absolutely cry. What else can we find over here? Give me something besides a Bidoof.